What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Brawl Stars video. Today, we're going to be going over the wealth of balance changes that Supercell made to the game. There's quite a few of them, very significant ones, actually, that sort of aim to balance the game with the landscape mode, make it feel a little bit quicker like it did before we changed over to landscape before the latest update, and a few other things as well, just for overall balance in the game. And we're going to talk about that, and then I'll show you guys some gameplay as well. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So I've actually got the list of changes right here, guys. We're going to go ahead and go over them real quick, and then I'm going to show you guys some just gameplay overall, because it does feel a lot better than it did before. We are on the developer build right now, so I can go ahead and just sort of show you guys how it feels real quick. So first and foremost, we do see that the camera is a bit farther away. It makes it so the map is just overall more visible, which is a nice change in my opinion. I do like that. Some maps are going to feel a little bit off because of that, but, you know, other than that, I do think that this is a nice change. You know, this also makes it so long-range brawlers are more viable than they were before, which is fantastic. That's the main thing I was hoping they would change with this, is making it so longer-range brawlers feel as viable as short-range brawlers, because right now, as you guys know, we've seen a lot of Daryl, we've seen a lot of Shelly, we've seen a lot of Primo, and we've seen a lot of Bull, much more than I'm okay with. So definitely needed to see some buffs to those sort of mid to long range brawlers, and this is definitely a nice one. Vision is always going to be an advantage, and having long range vision is very nice to see, because, you know, changing from portrait to landscape, that's one of the main issues people were having, is the long range brawlers didn't have enough vision to even see the ends of their shots. So that's good. Now, we also noticed that there is sort of this weird perception thing, because they changed the angle that you view the camera at. Like, you're watching the screen playing the game. They changed the angle slightly, and they also zoomed it out. So it feels like the game was slower, even though technically it wasn't. They didn't change anything as far as the speed is concerned, but they went ahead and increased the speed by about 9%. There are some exceptions to this we'll get into, but they did increase the speed overall of all movement for projectiles and for brawlers and pets by about 9%. So that's not bad, guys. That's definitely a very significant change. And when you guys get to playing it, you'll definitely get what I'm saying. It's very significant, at least by how it feels, even though overall it really isn't that crazy different compared to what it was. It feels much different. The perception is that it's very different, even though it isn't necessarily that big of a quantifiable change. Only 9% isn't huge. So that's very nice to see. All models of brawlers in-game were scaled up a bit to make them feel not so small, which is nice to see again. You know, making it so with the new camera settings, it doesn't feel like a very different game, which is good. Now, we have specific brawler changes that we're going to go ahead and get into now, and some of these are really good, and some of them I don't know if they're going to end up being enough, but is definitely a step in the right direction. So first and foremost, guys, we do have the lobbers getting somewhat of a buff here, more than they already were, by getting an increased projectile speed. They're getting 5% more than the rest of the cast, putting them at 14% increased projectile speed, which is very nice to see. They definitely feel like they're a little off right now, so we're going to have to see if this is enough to fix them, but at the moment, definitely not the best as far as just how they feel is concerned. So I'm pretty happy to see that one. Bow mine explosion delay was reduced by 0.15 seconds to 1.15 seconds. It was 1.3 before. That's an interesting change. I think that Bo could get to the point very easily where he feels overpowered and games feel unwinnable, because he can chain supers so easily, especially in very dense maps where you can sort of hide very easily on them. You know, thinking specifically of like Snake Prairie, there's a lot of places where you can hide, and bow mines are very difficult to deal with. So overall, I do think this is probably a decent change, but I think that they need to sort of tread lightly with Bo, because, you know, too many buffs and he can feel absolutely unstoppable and ridiculous and impossible to beat. A lot like a few other brawlers in this game. Specifically, I'm thinking of Spike, because he's very difficult to beat when you launch his super, and then immediately he hits a couple shots and charges up another super and then throws that super. It's very difficult to beat that. especially if he has his star power and he's able to heal up very quickly. So overall, I do think that those brawlers, and also Jessie to some degree, because of being just a deployable type of brawler, having that sort of super that she does, makes it very difficult to make it feel sort of manageable going up against a more powered up version of her. So overall, there are a few brawlers here that we need to see be just like slowly inched forward on as far as buffs are concerned, if their stats aren't necessarily where they need to be in Supercell's opinion. And Bo, I think that this is okay, but he definitely needs to be just slowly buffed until he feels okay, because otherwise it could get ridiculous, guys. And guys, the main buff to the long-range brawlers in this balance update is to Colt, Ricochet, Brock, and Piper. I'm very happy to say their projectile sizes have been increased, making it much easier to hit your enemies with their basic attacks, which is fantastic to see. I'm very happy about that. I do think that is almost necessary at this point if they wanted to be able to even compete with any of these longer range brawlers on a bigger, more zoomed out map. So overall, very happy to see that. You know, we also saw that same buff given to Jessie, Crow, Tara, and Spike, which I don't necessarily know if Spike needed that buff, and I don't know if Crow needed that buff. Maybe not even Jessie. I don't even know about that. I mean, I definitely see it for Tara because she's somewhat underused in a few game modes, really. And I think that she could be a little bit better. But, you know, Spike, man, Spike did not feel good anyways, so I'm not so sure about that one. Anyways, though, I'm going to reserve judgment until we actually get into some serious matches and get some time under our belt with this update. But I'm not positive about that one. The long-range ones I get, the mid-range ones, we'll have to see. So we also saw reduced main attack range for Brock, Piper, and Ricochet. This is to help fit the screen better as well. So I don't know if I like this change very much. Probably going to be reduced to around sort of the Colt range that we know of right now. And that was done a little bit a little bit ago to go ahead and distinguish the long-range brawlers before they even had star powers or anything like that. So overall, I think that this is an okay change, but I don't know if I like it very much, considering that end game wise, Piper is going to have pretty much the longest range that you can have in this game. And if that's being dialed back on, I hope it's not too much, because I do think that that's one of her redeeming qualities. One of her unique qualities is having a very long range, because she's a sniper. She's got a sniper rifle. I mean, that thing is powerful. It shoots bullets far. So to have that sort of dialed back a little bit, I just hope it's not too much to sort of reduce how unique she feels when you're actually playing her. So we also saw increased main attack damage for Brock from 1040 all the way to 1100, and Piper from 1480 to 1560. Not a bad change, you know. Very happy to see more buffs going towards these long-range brawlers. I do think that the projectile size increase was more significant than these are, but overall, you know, I really can't complain. These long-range brawlers definitely needed some love, and Supercell definitely gave it to them. So each time Ricochet's bullets bounce, they'll travel a little bit farther, about 2 tiles roughly more per bounce, and a maximum of 6 bounces, which is actually pretty crazy. And that's going to be interesting, guys. Going to make him very viable in situations where you have multiple wall bounce opportunities, sort of like hallways and stuff like that. I'm very interested to see how that goes, and more specifically, I think it could have some very big implications on Robo Rumble and sort of areas like that where you have the opportunity to sort of strategically use a lot of wall bounces. So I'm interested to see the implications that's going to have on the game specifically, because it could be very significant. So next up, guys, Mortis's dash range was increased from 2 1/3 tiles to 2 2/3 tiles for a 1/3 increase. I'm not so sure that this is going to be enough, guys. I gotta be honest. I feel like right now, with auto-aim being as popular as it is, with Bull and Primo and Daryl and Shelly being as popular as they are, there's just not a lot that you're going to be able to do with Mortis if any of them are on the opposing team. And I feel like overall that this could be a very big issue moving forward when people are trying to play him. Maybe Supercell are sort of just going to juggle him around until eventually he finds a nice little middle ground where he's not overpowered, but he's not necessarily too underpowered to go ahead and compete with the rest of the game. And right now, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but, you know, I will take what I can get. Dash range is very, very significant, and overall, it could be what we need, you know? I'm going to reserve judgment for right now, but it could be what we need. Now, the speed buff that Colt's star power gets is also going to be increased by 10 movement from 50 to 60. I guess that's okay. I'm good with it, man. Always sort of making brawlers feel more unique. And making them more powerful overall is never going to be a bad thing, in my opinion, unless it gets to the point where they're overpowered. But I don't think that this update is going to make them overpowered. And I do appreciate having, you know, variation in speed overall with brawlers as a whole, because I do think that that's also a pretty great way to sort of make every single brawler feel very unique and very different from each other. And then, guys, finally, we got a fantastic nerf. So first and foremost, the biggest one is going to be a nerf to the main attack damage from Bull, going from 440 to 400, which is solid. I very, very much appreciate that. That is absolutely fantastic to see. You know, compounded over the amount of bullets that he's going to have per shot, definitely going to be significant, and he needed a nerf. He was too powerful. Auto aim was just stupid powerful with him. And Shelly also got a nerf, albeit not as big of one, but I don't think she needed as big of one as Bull did, going from 320 damage per bullet to 300. All that said, guys, I have to say I really did enjoy just reading through these, and I'm excited to go ahead and try them out. I haven't tried them out at this moment. Now, you guys have been watching me play through them there because I just went ahead and put some gameplay that I just recorded there, but we're actually going to go ahead and play through them, and I'll give my opinions just the first time playing through them right now. So let's go ahead and hop right in, guys, because this is going to be a fun one. We're not going to go ahead and do too many matches. I think just a few to go ahead and try out some brawlers I was a little bit concerned about. First and foremost, guys, I want to try out my main man, Colt, because Colt is so much fun. He's a fantastic brawler. He's one of my favorites easily, and I want to make sure that he feels okay at this point. I want to make sure that he feels usable at this moment. So we're going to go ahead and try him out. Obviously, whoa, those bullets are huge, dude. They're huge. Oh my god, look at that fire path. Holy crap, dude. They are massive. Those bullets are massive. I feel like it's like cannonballs. They're just cannonballs. We just took out one of the opposing Colts pretty easily there. I'm interested to see what the implications are on the sort of high-tier gameplay of the game, because overall, this could be super significant in changing that. Like, look at how big those bullets are, dude. They're crazy. They're crazy. Like, how are you going to be able to dodge that, dude? That is insane. I can't believe that they changed it this significantly, guys. We are just melting everyone right now. Again, these are bots, so, you know, you don't really expect to have that many issues, but good lord, just melting them. Just, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, Primo? Like, we are up to 9,100 HP. Good lord, my dude. 3 brawlers remain. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Over 1,000 damage per bullet. I am so sorry, dude. Let's give him a hug. Let's give Primo a hug. Hey, Primo. Primo, how's it going, man? I'll give you a hug. Hey, Primo, you got 1 power-up, dude. I'm just gonna give you a hug. It's all good, man. It's all good. You know something's going wrong. Did he just... Primo, don't do it, dude! Don't do it, dude! He's just going... Oh my god, never mind. Anyways, this is ridiculous. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take him out. But that is really crazy. That is really crazy. I'm interested to see how this goes with actual people. Unfortunately, right now, I can't go ahead and test that when I'm recording. No one else was on. So, yeah, as you guys can see, only 1 person online, unfortunately. But that's fine, guys. That's fine. We're just doing dev build fun. So, let's go ahead and test out Crow. I'm also interested to see how he plays with that increased projectile size. Could be very, very interesting to see work out for him, because it makes it so, I think, I'm not going to swear to this, but I'm pretty sure the logic checks out that it's going to make it so he can fully shotgun all 3 of his shots on brawlers from a farther distance, because his projectiles will be a little bit bigger. So you're probably going to be able to be a little bit farther away from opposing brawlers and still hit every shot from your normal attack. And I'm doing practice. That was, yeah. I'm dumb. Okay, let's jump into another one, guys. Let's see how it goes. But basically, that's what I wanted to check out. This projectile size increase is very interesting. And yeah, it's gonna make it so you can be a little bit farther away, I think. I'm pretty sure that that's how it's going, guys. I'm pretty sure. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Colt is deadly, my man. Deadly, but not as deadly as I am. So let's go ahead and roll straight into the middle, grab some power-ups. We do have a nice little Nita here. She's not going to do a whole lot. That's going to be her going down very easily. Also, it's going to implicate his super with the update and everything. I'm really interested to see how that goes as well. That could definitely be pretty awesome. So, yeah, good stuff all around, guys. Good stuff all around. So far, so good. We are going to try out the rest of the cast very, very soon, which hopefully will be just as promising. But, yeah, we're going to just go ahead and take everyone out here. There's a Colt, and there's his power-ups. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, so Nita, I don't know about Nita. Nita might actually have fallen through the cracks a little bit at this point, honestly. She's not getting really much of anything this update, so overall, she might have some problems, guys. Let's go ahead and find this last person. Someone's hiding from me. Come out, wherever you are. Where are... Oh, there you are. There you are, friend. There you are. Yeah, that's going to be the game. GGWP bots, but you weren't good enough. So, let's keep it rolling. That level 2, guys. We got level 2. Awesome stuff. Okay. So, yeah, with my nice maxed out dev build account. So, next up, who do we want to try out? Let's try out Piper. So, Piper, again, someone that I had a few concerns about, you know, going into this. And the latest update just totally reinforced my opinion that she just wasn't good enough. But now, ooh, boy, look at that range. Look at that range. You gotta be kidding me, boy. You gotta be kidding me. How? How do you have that range? That's insane. Okay, anyways, let's take some power-ups real quick. We'll go after Primo later. Once we're all beefed up and everything, we have tons and tons of damage. Feels good, man. But yeah, this is so far so good. I definitely think that this is the right way to get back to balancing the game after this crazy update. And, you know, make it so it's a little bit better for everyone. And that was a nice little long shot there for about 2,800 damage. We're going to go ahead and take out that Dynamite as well. Grab all the power-ups, right up to 6 of them. And, again, sniping feels so smooth now. It feels so much better because it's just more manageable. You can just do it easier. Now, if this is going to be too easy, remains to be seen. We'll have to see. We'll have to sort of judge that over the next, you know, few weeks or even a month. But overall, right now, I'm feeling pretty good about those long-range brawlers, and I hope that they sort of hold up with auto attack being added to the game still, you know? I do think that this is a very, very solid step in the right direction, even if it's not enough. But I think that this is probably going to be enough, guys. I think we're probably going to be about good as far as just balancing with long-range brawlers is concerned. I think they're at a solid point at the moment, you know, making it so it's just a little bit easier to aim with them, taking into account the new controls and all that good stuff. You know, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different metrics that changed with the new update that made it so longer range brawlers just weren't favorable to play anymore. And this definitely goes a long way to fixing those. That's what I want to say. Okay, now finally, last one we're going to do, guys. We're going to try out Bull because Bull got a big old nerf. He got the nerf bat just swung at him and they're like, that's not enough. And they swung a couple more times and he's just like, please, Supercell, stop it. Stop. You know, so definitely still, you know, feels pretty powerful in my opinion, but still pretty good, you know, using that auto attack, doing a lot of damage, but just a little bit more manageable, I think. Just a little bit more manageable. And honestly, I really don't know the zoom out too much. Now, I will say that on certain maps, it definitely could be very, very relevant. Well, actually, we'll check that out. We'll check that out. I'll see if it's relevant or not, but I do think that it could definitely end up... Ooh, hey. Hey there, friend. Oh, no! We got supered, boys. That's not good. I definitely do think... Oh, jeez. Yeah, we almost died to a bot. You didn't see nothing. Anyways, I do think that the zoom out could be relevant with some maps because I do think that it... Oh, jeez. I do think that it could end up impacting just the viewer experience because in some maps it's probably going to have those sort of little barriers on the side, like the little mountains or whatever, that sort of obscure the outside of the gameplay environment, I guess. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean in case you're confused very, very soon here. We're going to go ahead and take out this Dynamite real fast. He's just running away. He's trying. He's like, you know, I'd rather die at this point, honestly. Like he literally just like the meme, like, guess I'll die. You know, he just walks straight out into the poison. He's like, guess I'll die. Okay, let's get it rolling, guys. We're going to try out one more thing. We won't play through the full game. I just wanted to go ahead and see it just to check it out. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and see, you see those little mountain walls there? They're going to obscure the screen, but not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to look pretty terrible. Now, on some longer devices, it might look pretty bad, guys. I'm not going to say without a shadow of a doubt that that's going to be totally fine all the way around and that we'll have no issues with it because, you know, I have a decent aspect ratio device for Brawl Stars, and some people don't. You know, I don't think the iPhone 10 or iPhone X is necessarily going to be very good for it, for sure. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have some issues with that because they just optimized it and everything, and now, you know, we're sort of making it so there's a huge amount of the screen that's going to be obscured, most likely, unless they do something else with it. We'll have to see. I might be totally wrong about that, but I don't have an actual device to test it on at this point, unfortunately, so I'll need your guys' help. If you have an iPhone X or an iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it, let me know in the comments below. Do you guys have a good experience with this update, or is it not so good? Is it obscuring a lot of the screen? I'd love to see screenshots if you could send them to me on Twitter or even in the comment sections. Go ahead and upload it to imgur, it's imgur.com. And I'll go ahead and take a look, and we can sort of report on that in future videos because I'd love to go ahead and make sure everyone's having a very solid experience with this new update. But yeah, guys, that's going to be about it for this one. I definitely think this is if not a fixing the game update, it's definitely a very big step in the right direction because it makes all of the brawlers, in my opinion, except maybe the lobbers and maybe a few that didn't get any love with this balance update, feel pretty solid overall and pretty viable. It's not bad, guys. It's not bad by any means. I do think that, you know, there are a few brawlers that we might need to dial back a little bit on, like Spike. I don't know if Spike needed the projectile size increase. I really don't. But, you know, Supercell are making the decisions based off statistics that we just don't have access to. We don't have access to them. And, yeah, so we'll just have to trust their judgment right now and just see how it goes. And, I'm sure if something becomes too oppressive, just like Bull was, they'll go ahead and hit it with a Nerf bat. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, go ahead and comment your thoughts on the update below. I'd love to hear them, and we can talk about them in the next video. And until the next one, guys, have a fantastic day. Peace.